I see the Chinese expansion in the South China Sea as a significant threat to our country. I think it's a threat to our allies, South Korea and Japan. And I think we need to deal with it appropriately. China is it's not some democracy and everyone gets along. No, it's not. That is it could not be farther from the truth. If that was true, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But everything they have done has shown that they are an evil regime. They don't care about human rights. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about liberty. They don't care about our borders. They don't care about anything. They care about power, money, greed, and control for the top, and only the top. Especially with the Uyghur situation, I hope I said that right, but in northern China. And I was researching this, and they're calling the Uyghurs some kind of like extremists because they're Muslims or whatever. And because apparently they're very critical of the Communist Party of China. So it's no coincidence that people critical of the Communist Party of China are the ones that are getting beat up and sometimes killed in these situations, put into the concentration camps. It's like a repeat of Nazi Germany.
They have the spy drones in Maryland University to harass those Chinese dissidents, those protesters.
This is very similar to Operation Fox Hunt, trying to track down Chinese dissidents and prevent them from speaking out against the Communist Party of China. Now we got drones in our airspace flying over college campuses. It gets worse every day. First it's a balloon, then it's drones, then it's actual spies. I mean, it's just like, what's next? Next is like freaking troops on our border. Pardon my language, but it's true. So I think that's a direct violation of our airspace. If we have Chinese agents flying drones over our colleges, harassing anti-CCP protests, first they should be shot down, just like that balloon should have been shot down immediately. It shouldn't even been allowed in Alaska, but welcome to, the current U.S. government. That should not be happening. And if they do, they should be shot down, and the people should be put in prison for that. I think if we don't get serious about it, I think they could pose a very serious geographical and militaristic threat to our country. If we allow them to grow, allow their economies to grow, allow their military to grow, allow them to just be like expand, and be expansionists. Great empires like to expand and take over countries so they can control people, and so they have more territory to do so with. I think if they continue to grow and continue to get bigger and all that, it's just going to get worse by the day. It's just going to keep getting worse until we're going to have a very serious threat on our hands. And that's going to be a Chinese military bigger than ours and not capable of resisting a possible Chinese invasion. Because it sounds ridiculous. Give it 50 years, we're going to be in a very weak position. If they have all aircraft carriers and naval battle groups and troops and new kinds of airplanes and balloons, it could be very bad. So my advice to young generations is we have to be aware of this issue. Okay, this is our greatest threat abroad. These people can control businesses here. They control different Amazon. There's different ties with them. They're basically everything Like my suit I'm wearing is from China. I was looking at it last night. I'm like, well, it's pretty bad, but I cannot wear a suit. I got to wear a suit, right? But I'm a big fan of moving our industry out of China, moving it back here for our own national security. But we have got to do everything in our power as young people, get Chinese business out of China and be aware of this issue and treat the Chinese party for the evil thugs that they are and the tyrants that they are. They are authoritarians. They need to be deposed and to be called for what they are, which is evil thugs.
To save America, we have to decouple CCP.
Yeah, they're in direct interest in deposing us and destroying our country. They have I think it's a 100-year plan, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a little less than that. They have a 100-year plan to basically control everything, control every aspect of the world, just like Hitler wanted to do. I just compared Xi Jinping to Hitler because if I didn't know any better, they'd be related because they got the same things going on. Expansionists, expanding, human rights violations, violating our airspace. It just goes on and on and on. It is almost like a form of neo-fascism, and they're acting like Nazis. They're not technically Nazis, they're communists, which is a different ideology. They act more like fascists than anything else. They act like it. Technically they're a communist country, but they sure do act like it. So communism should be fought anywhere it appears. Government, business, if a politician says they support communism, that's an automatic ticket out of office. If they try to run for re-election, they should not be in office. It's that simple. You like communism, you should not have a place. I mean, there's members of Congress in the Democratic caucus who voted to not condemn communism as an evil ideology. I mean, that's sickening. When we have our own members of Congress not doing that, so there's a lot of American conspirators. There's a lot of American sympathizers with the CCP. We should bring awareness to them, too. There are a lot of Americans, just like in Revolutionary War. Loyalists is what they call them. We need to do something about the CCP, whatever that may be.